Hey y'all, it's your girl Charity B, and welcome to the I'm Enough Mastering Self-Love podcast. This podcast was designed for both men and women who are in the process or wanting to start their self-love journey. Here we discuss many topics related to self-love that promotes healthy habits that will help support your mental and emotional health, boost self-confidence, and self-worth. So get ready. This is something you don't want to miss. If you like what you hear in this episode, feel free to DM me and leave comments on my Instagram page at im.enoughmsl. What's up, y'all? Welcome back to the I'm Enough Mastering Self-Love podcast. I'm your host, Charity B. If you are new here, welcome. We are happy to have you. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and turn on your post notifications. If you are returning back, welcome back as well. I know last week or the week before last, we had wrapped up the 2-part episode of trauma starting from the root of the problem, and we had like a special guest. Before I get into that though, y'all, I do apologize. I know that the video was supposed to be uploaded Friday, but it finally uploaded Monday, and I'm assuming because my video was so long, that's why YouTube had a problem uploading it. But I did everything I possibly could to get it uploaded faster. I'll try to upload it to Dropbox. I try to delete it, re-upload it. I try to reach out to support. I tried to check the settings and research and see if I had to change anything, but everything was correct because it was a long video. And y'all, I promise you, I had the video edited and ready to go 2 days after it was recorded, but I didn't know how to like pre-schedule it in the app, the YouTube app, and so yeah, I didn't upload it. And so, but now I know how to do that. So I promise you next time or moving forward, I will pre-schedule it now for you guys. So it can be, the content can be available when it's supposed to be. So with that being said, back to what I was talking about. But we had on the second part of the traumas episode, we had a special guest, which was my best friend. That was my claps. But about that. Oh yeah, I decided to pick her as my first guest because when we have conversations, like I told y'all before I even started my podcast, me and her used to have conversations about these type of topics a lot, and so we could pick one topic and bounce off each other's ideas and talk about that one topic for hours, literally. Like if you can tell from the last episode, it was an hour long, and we still was trying to wrap up, but we were still talking, so it was just like, but you get the gist. And also she was somebody who can relate to what was being talked about. Like she was somebody I guess she could say she was my first client. I was kind of like a therapist, semi-therapist, but whatever I talk to you guys about, I talk to her about, and the same steps I give y'all, I gave her. So she was just basically living proof on how these traumatic events or things you've been through, whether it's when you was a child or a young adult, it can affect you in your adult relationships, whether it's with your significant other, your friendships, or your family. It still can have some type of hold on you. But that doesn't mean that you can't push through these traumatic events or things you have been through in order to be where you want to be. So that is why I picked her, because she was basically an example. She was speaking for the people. And it also, I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I did, because it allowed me to look into as well as understand what people think and why they behave based off what they've been through. And it's crazy how much those type of traumas can stick with us and hold us back from where we're supposed to be. And the point I was trying to make is showing how important it is to face what you've been through. You can't move forward. You can't start your self-love journey or any type of spiritual journey like this if you still have unwanted baggage you haven't dealt with. If you don't deal with your past or try to ignore it, no matter how much you try to ignore it, or think it's going to like pass over, it's not. Because you can't start a clean slate with something hunting you. It affected you some type of way, whether it's with a relationship you had with somebody or something that you went through that was traumatic. You still have to face it. If you have to go get professional help, do that. If you need to talk to somebody, do that as well. But you have to face what you've been through. Face your truth. This is what you've been through. If you face it, it allows you to combat what is at hand in order to move forward and persevere, to evolve into that person that you're trying to be. So, and it was also aimed towards those. I know a lot of people like, well, I do what you say. I do self-affirmations, I read inspirational quotes, or I listen to podcasts, etc. I do those things, but I still have those moments where it's just not going to work. I mean, it is a process, but this was aimed to y'all because if there's so much negativity around you or negative energy in you, that little bit of positivity that you're trying to do, that little bit of self affirmations, a little bit of, it's just not gonna work how you want to, because it's so much, the bad is outweighing the good. So you have to find some way to minimize that negativity so you can pour in more positivity and have more positive energy around you and moving all that negative energy in order for you to persevere and move forward and be evolved, you know? So you can't start with a clean slate with all this baggage. So that was the point I was trying to make with that episode. So I hope you guys did get the point that I was trying to make. But with that being said, we're going to go ahead and hop into this episode. This is episode number 4, and we're going to talk about protecting your energy. Now, Charity, what do you mean by protecting my energy? Well, what I mean about that is caring and protecting your physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual self. Not letting anything knock you off your element, big or small. Learn how to protect you, combat your energy from those negative people and things. Okay? Now, I know we all had those instances where we got up and we either felt like with this positive energy, and then we go out into that nice big world and somebody or something has thrown your energy off or tried to throw your energy off, test you to make sure that you was secure. But it could range from you going to the grocery store and the cashier is just rude and you're just like being super nice, or you just driving down the street and your tire just tears into shreds. No matter what it is, you know. Or we could be the person that's the negative person in the for instance, because I mean, let's be honest, every day we're not going to be positive. We have those moments where we feel down or we just having issues on that day and we just not with it. We're not with the positivity, and it's okay. But it's as long as we come back from that, you know, we can't stay soaked in that negative energy. But for example, we all know it's important to like eat, drink water, exercise, etc. But do we really just know why those things are important to us? You could be in the best physical shape, but if somebody or something is physically or mentally draining you, you're gonna feel just that. You're gonna feel drained, you're gonna feel tired. And you're probably wondering like, why am I so tired? Or why do I feel like drained? I do what I'm supposed to. I eat right, I drink water, take my vitamins, I get adequate enough sleep, I get my 8 hours, but something's going on. And the thing is, those 4 things have to be balanced. Your spiritual, mental, emotional, and physical, emotional, and mental have to be balanced. If 1 or 2 of those things are knocked off, you're going to seek that energy from the other 2 things that are balanced. And that's when you become drained in those other areas as well. You're just totally drained. And eventually, if you keep letting it go on, you're going to be physically drained. It's going to show. You might start losing your hair because you're stressed out. Your skin might start breaking out, getting bad acne. You might either start losing too much weight or gaining too much weight. And that's what you're not trying to do. You need to protect your energy. That's why it's important to protect your energy so you won't get thrown off like that and feel bad or feel worse than what you should, you know? And that goes to say, why is protecting your energy important? Energy is only observed. It can't be destroyed, whether it's positive or negative. If you make yourself vulnerable to everybody, everything, that allows them to put whatever they have in you, whatever energy they have in them, in you. And you don't want to, and then you start acting like them. And you're like, well, why am I being so negative? Well, because you allowed yourself to be vulnerable to that person or thing that was negative. And negative feelings or negative thoughts lead to negative results. It's just not where you're trying to be. You're trying to focus your energy so it can be more positive. That's healthier for you. Now, you're probably like, well, how do I protect my energy? And you know me, Charity is always gonna have steps for y'all on how y'all need to protect your energy, basically. So the first thing I would say is probably definitely stay in tune with your feelings and emotions. Now, I see why people be like, they admire that I stay in tune with my feelings. If I'm not sure about anything else, I'm sure about my feelings and my emotions. Like, you need to know when you have symptoms. It's just like a migraine. I get bad migraines. For those who out there, you understand migraines are just horrible. You literally have to cut off all the lights. You can't do anything but literally lay there and close your eyes in the dark, or just lay there in the dark. But you know when a migraine about to come on. It's like a real small pain. Like for me, I get and it's stress migraines, but I get like this really little small pain in the back of my head, and then it starts escalating, and then it moves to the front. So it's just like that. You need to know symptoms ahead of time. When are you about to feel drained? When your mental is about to be knocked off? When do you feel like you're falling off? Stress. When you feel irritable. You need to realize those symptoms ahead of time. Like, and I'll be honest with y'all, I felt like that a couple of days ago. I want to say Saturday. I just realized that like my mental was starting to, I'm like, okay, I'm thinking too negative now. And not suicidal, just, negative thoughts about everything. And then it's just like, ew, like I can feel it, and it was draining me. And so that's when I was like, okay, I need to take a step back. So I text my friends and whatever, and I'm like, okay, I'm going into hiatus. I need time to myself to think, to get my thoughts together. And when you do that, you also can take like mental health days. You know, I love mental health days. Like it's like a recharge for me, reboot. Like, I don't know, refresh. You know how you refresh? I guess like when you drink, I don't know what to compare it to, but I compare it to like drinking a cold glass of water. Maybe not even cold, because I hate cold water, but just a glass of water. You feel refreshed, renewed, and your energy goes back up if you was dehydrated. That's how I feel. But definitely, nobody cares. If you gotta take off from work, y'all, take off from work. Do that. Forget that job. I was gonna say forget that job. Literally, they're not gonna care about you if you have anxiety or you have a nervous breakdown and palpitating and everything. They're not gonna care about that. They're just gonna tell you to take off. They're not gonna pay you for it. I mean, if you have a job that's gonna pay you for it, kudos to you. But no, take that PTO time. Tell them to prepare the others. PTO. Nobody care about that. If you need a mental break, don't stretch yourself out more than what you think you can do when you know you have too much on your plate already. Like, no. And then you also need to start setting healthy boundaries for yourself. Learn how to say no. You do not need to tell people yes all the time because you're scared on what they think about you. Listen, people gonna paint the narrative they want about you regardless of what type of person you are. They want you to look bad, they're gonna paint the narrative about you that they want. You don't need to worry about. That's your opinion. That's your decision to worry about if you want to care about what people think about you. And you shouldn't, because all it's going to do is stress you out. If you know what type of person you are and the people that you trust around you know what type of person you are, that's all that matters. Nobody don't care about what people say or think. They're going to think or have their opinions. You see that every day on social media, especially about famous people. People going to have opinions about people no matter what. That's just how life is. But don't let that have an influence on you draining yourself out or trying to make yourself available to people just because their thoughts and opinions. You need to set boundaries. Draw a line between knowing when you cannot extend yourself anymore. This is enough. Enough is enough. Basically, you need to know when enough is enough. Have a demand or draw a line between those people who drain you and stuff, and be mindful of how much negative exposure you have. Like I said, sometimes we're not going to be positive 24/7. It's just not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. Sometimes you feel down. It's just emotion or something that we go through. So it's like, but be mindful of how much negativity you put in yourself or expose yourself to. If you feel like you're down and stuff like that, that's when you need to isolate yourself to get yourself back up. Because if you negative, you feel negative, or feel bad, why would you go put yourself around things that's gonna make you feel even worse? You know, it just doesn't make sense. And we need to realize this as well, because my best friend tell me this all the time. Like, there's power in the tongue. There's power, and it's true. And I know this as well for myself. I just sometimes, like I said, sometimes you just be feeling like whatever, but there is power in the tongue. What you speak is what you're gonna get. If you say you're tired all the time, you say you drained all the time, you're gonna be nothing but drained. That's it. You're just gonna be nothing but drained. You're not gonna feel good because that's all you say. That's my mama always told me. Speak about those. I don't know. It's a scripture in the Bible. I think she was like, speak of those as what you want them to be, but not as though they are, or something around them ranges. I don't know if your mama was very like biblical. I'm pretty sure you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, basically, yeah, stop speaking so negative about everything that's going on, no matter what it looks like. Yeah, for instance, I can't stand my job, but sometimes I have to stop telling myself that I can't stand it, or I can't stand these people, all these people leave me alone. I just have to be like, you know what, we can do this today, because when 11 o'clock come, we can leave. We can get up out of here. So I gotta talk myself through it in order to get myself back on track so I can make it through the day. But yeah, stop speaking bad about things. Also, you need to find, I don't know about y'all, but I have a happy place. My happy place now, outside my podcast, because now my podcast is my happy place. If I feel like I'm down and stuff like that, I start writing episodes, or I start brainstorming episodes, or anything to boost my presence on the platforms to increase my audience for my podcast, because I have like an intended goal for my podcast. And that's one of my happy places. I like nature now. Well, a little bit of nature, because I'm still bougie. Yeah, I don't like sticky and humidity, but I will go outside on my porch and look at the cars and
wow.
Yeah, and look at the trees and let the wind brush against my face. I like the pool now. I can't swim, but that doesn't matter. I like to put my feet in it or stand in it. And like, yeah, find you a new happy place. Sometimes we tend to like seek or look for our happy place in other people, and we shouldn't have to do that. It's not necessarily bad, because I remember when I had first moved back from college after I graduated, me and my mom had got a place together, and I felt like it's still, because I was on my own for 4 years. I was in my own apartment and everything. But that, you know, I had my sense of independence for 4 years. And when I came back and lived with my mama, it still felt like, even if we did get a place together and I wasn't in her house, it still felt like her house, you know? And so I would go to my boyfriend's house and be there. That was my happy place. He was my happy place. No matter what was going on at home, if me and my mama got into it or whatever, he was my happy place. I would go over there and he would just make it all better. But that's fine and all, but you have to find some type of sense of happiness outside of looking at for people. You have to be your own sense of happiness. And so even back then though, like when I would go over to his house or whatever just to get a breather, because there's nothing wrong with that, I still was working on my podcast. Like, mind you, y'all, I had brainstormed all this for like at least 2 years. That's why I knew that it was destined for me to do my podcast, because I was writing stuff down on what I want to do about this this whole podcast. But so yeah, it's always been my happiness. That's my happy place, or I guess you could say I call it my happy place, because when I am having like mental, you know, I need a mental break, then I go and brainstorm my podcast, and it kind of makes me happy inside. But yeah, find a new happy place, whatever it is. do that. We also need to be aware of our triggers. You know, what makes us tick, what throws us off, what makes us mad. Like, I don't know, who gets under our skin so easily? Like, what can throw my energy off? Like, you need to find that and limit, and try to limit your encounters from all this negative energy or your things that might trigger you, and be more around things that make you happier. Whether it's the people you hang out with, even if it is your job, find a new job. It's kind of hard now. Trust me, I know, because I don't lie, I can't stand my job. Like, I know hate is a strong word, but that's how I feel about that job. I've been there for like 3 years, but I don't know. I guess you could say it's because of the recession. I guess I've been filling out applications. I just can't really find nothing that I like in my field. But I'm going back to school anyway, so it don't matter. I'm going to get my nursing license. So, but yeah, like I was saying, still, if it's another job, get another job. Fuck them jobs. They don't give a fuck about us. Then that's facts. They just don't. They just don't care about us enough. What else? What else can be enjoyable? Going on a vacation. What people need to stop doing, and I think a lot of people do, is they be like, well, how will I pay this when I get back? First of all, I get that. You need to pay your bills before you decide to live your life. But if you're so worried and caught up and make sure your bills on time, when are you going to have time to live your life? Our life is not surrounded or based off being adult to pay bills and to work. I mean, yes, that's what we do majority of the time, but we have to find some leisure time to do something that makes us actually happy. Like I said, put that PTO time in. If you get rejected, still go. They should prepare for others, because you told them in advance that you were leaving. And that's exactly what I do. I will still go, you deny it or not. But when I come back, I better have my job. Don't listen to me, y'all, because I'll have y'all out of a job on unemployment. Well, apparently, unemployment was pretty fun for those who were able to get on that when COVID started, but I wasn't that lucky one. But yeah. What was I saying before I was rudely interrupted by my own side thoughts? Another thing that people don't pay attention to is cleaning your physical and mental spaces. They don't think that's such a big deal. But if I know sometimes, you know, you don't want to clean up your house all the time. You don't want to, the stupid necklace. Okay, you don't want to clean up your house all the time, or you don't clean up your room, or etc. That's totally fine. But when it comes to a point where you feel like your mental is knocked off, your physical surroundings do play a big part as well. If there's clutter around you, your mind is going to be even more cluttered. If you pick up something, you kind of can feel the release from your brain of all that clutter. I don't know. When I think of clutter in the brain, or like a cluttered mental space, I think of like an office full of people and papers just flying everywhere. Just, they don't have no type of organization. It's just papers flying everywhere. That's what I think about a clutter, or how I would say a cluttered mental space is. But once I at least pick up, I don't matter. It could be like 5 shirts over there, some dishes over here, etc. But if I just pick up that one shirt, that one spot in the office just gets organized, and I'm like, okay, maybe this works. Now I clean up the rest of the house. Now half of the office is clean, and the rest of it's still chaos, but that's just mean I have to clean out my mental space. I need to declutter whatever is going on in my mind, and I have to sit down and analyze what is going on, what am I dealing with, why am I being off like this, and remove that negative energy. Once I clean all of that, the office is together. Everybody organized in at their desk, doing what they're supposed to do and when they're supposed to do it, you know? And it's really important. We don't really think about how important cleaning those spaces are to our actual health. We have to make sure those things stay balanced. We also need to start realizing red flags, or recognizing red flags. When we see those red flags, we need to start paying attention. Because no matter how much you try to ignore something, it always comes back if that's something that you really need to deal with. Like, it's always going to bother you. Maybe it might not be in that instance. It might not even be in that same year. It might be next year. But I promise you, it's going to come back. And if we don't realize these red flags, You never know. When we finally realize what's going on, it may be too late. It may be something going on that we can't change or take back because we waited too long to realize the red flags. And that's when shoulda, woulda, coulda comes into play. But it's like, why even get to that point where you should have or did this or you could have did this when you can stop it in that moment. Trust your gut. 99% of the time, well, 99.9% of the time, your gut is right. Whatever feeling you have, and then you getting an off feeling about something, whether it's somebody you're dealing with or somebody you care about in your circle, and you have this bad feeling about they're doing something, you're probably right. Look into that. And it ain't even about insecurity or anything like that. When you, like I said, I believe in soul ties. When you're dealing with somebody, whether it's sexually or you're just with that person, or there's somebody you're close with, best friend, you know when something off. Y'all feed off each other energy. Y'all have that bonded energy. So you know when something is off. You know when the energy is changing. You can feel it. Everybody has had that feeling before, you know. You feel those things. And so don't be scared to like confront somebody about a gut feeling that you're feeling. Because if they are retaliating or being offensive or defensive, that means that you probably was right. Why are you being so defensive? And I'm asking you a simple question. Just ask it, just answer it. So trust your gut. And the last way or point I would say as in ways to protect your energy would be try to surround yourself or have a stable circle of people that you can trust. Like I always say, quality over quantity. It doesn't matter how many friends you have or how many people are in your circle or how many people know you, because you can have 3 good friends that will never do you wrong, who will all be there when you need them, and somebody who have 10,000 friends and half of them or 75% of them are backstabbers. And there's half of them you can't even trust. Why be surrounded by people you can't trust? There's just no point. It's fine to have associates and everything, but do not, if you let everybody in your inner circle, that makes you more vulnerable as well when it comes to protecting your energy. So you need to be mindful of who you let in your circle and be mindful what they bring to the table. I'm not saying just to be looking and seeing like, okay, trying to see what you can get, because no, but you know what you bring to the table. You know that you're a great person, but everybody wasn't raised like you. Everybody's not built like you. Everybody don't have the same morals as you. So it's good to surround yourself with people who do have the same morals and beliefs as you. And together y'all can grow. You need to stick with people you can rely on, and that will help you in your process of trying to protect your energy, because it's nothing like letting so much negativity in you. It will change you as a person. Honestly, it will change the way you move, the way you behave, and you have different habits, and we don't never want to like expose ourselves to those type of things. It definitely can be something that hinders us in our walk or in our journey as far as our self-love journey and stuff. So protect your energy, you guys. Do not let anything throw you off your element. Stay focused. No matter if it's something little as whatever. Some things we just can't control. So don't let it make you get too angry. And I know it's easier said than done, because sometimes I'd be like that too. The slightest things just throw me off, and I just have to tell myself, it's okay, girl. Like, it's okay. We're gonna get out of this. We're just gonna get out of it. Sometimes you gotta give yourself a pep talk, because I be giving myself a lot of pep talk. For those who know me, yes, I talk to myself. I have to. That's the only way I'm gonna stay, leveled. If I don't talk to myself, it's not like I'm replying or anything on some I need to be in a mental hospital stuff, but wow. I just have to talk to myself to stay afloat, and it keeps me balanced. Because, child, the world, even being an adult, it's just hard during these days, It's just a lot going on. Like I said, a whole lot of going on. And it's just it don't be given sometimes. So you have to do what fits you best. These are some ways that I think are best when it comes to protecting your energy. I mean, if you feel something different, or you have or agree, or you have opinions about ways to protect that can help other people, do comment below. I love to hear y'all feedback about some things like this, because some things I may do, I might need to change my own coping mechanisms. Let me know, y'all. But don't be afraid to take those mental health days, y'all. Don't be scared to live your life because you worried about something you can't control. The bill's gonna be there when you get back. It's gonna be there when you get back. Go ahead and live your life. Go on that trip that you want to do. It don't even have to be a big trip if you really don't want to spend that much money, but just get away. Give yourself a chance to see a new scenery, because sometimes us looking at a different scenery can definitely help us or give us a different perspective than what we had back then. So new mindset, new change, clean slate. I promise you, it's just something different definitely helps you in your walk when it comes to your self-love journey as well. So yeah, do those things. That was all I had for you guys today. And if you did like this episode, please comment, like, and tell your friends, share it with your friends. And yeah, y'all see I got my little nails done or whatever. Yeah, our special guest from last time did them. Don't look at that one, it kind of broke because I was rough. But I hope you guys are booking with her as well. She is in the Houston area if you're ever here. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your week, and I'll see you guys again in 2 weeks. Bye.